Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So as many of you guys now know, the NBA is going to be returning in July, and I believe everybody's excited about that. But I've been seeing on social media that everyone's saying that the Clippers and the Lakers are going to represent the West. And I believe that the Pelicans' young big three of Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and Lonzo Ball have something to say about this. I'm not going to keep this intro any longer than it needs to be. So let's get started.
I don't feel that way, Max, is because I don't see them surpassing Memphis or Portland or San Antonio, who I think is obviously exceptionally well coached, and I think ultimately they'll find their way in.
Stephen A., you're wrong, and I'll explain to you why.
For the Pelicans to even get to the point where they're able to compete to be able to make the playoffs is astonishing, to say the least, because the Pelicans started the season terrible. There's a combinations of reasons for this. For instance, Zion not being able to play in the beginning, playing in the tough Western Conference, and not being able to finish some close games. The Pelicans started the season 7-23. But they were 0-9 in games that were decided by 2 possessions. Just think about that for a second. The Pelicans easily could have been 13-20 or 15-15 if they knew how to finish close games. Another aspect was Alvin Gentry making confusing roster decisions, to say the least. For instance, not giving Lonzo that many minutes in favor towards Frank Jackson and Alexander Walker. Now, Alexander Walker is a talented young guard, but I believe Lonzo has more potential and should be playing more. Another instance is when Kendrick Williams was getting a lot of minutes in the beginning of season, when most Pelican fans did not like that because he wasn't playing that well. Now, the season really started to change when Lonzo was given more minutes to play. Brandon Ingram, honestly, from the beginning of season, showed amazing growth and development as shown through his free throw improvement, ball handling ability, and three-point shooting, which really wasn't shown on the Lakers. So that's why I'm going to be focusing more a little bit about Lonzo for the reason why I've changed. Lonzo in the beginning of the season, from October to around the end of December, this was a stretch where the team really played bad and Lonzo was only getting around 27 minutes per game, and as a team facilitator and playmaker, this isn't enough to be able to make a true team impact. After December, Lonzo averaged 36 minutes per game, and the difference in his own play and in the team was noticeable, to say the least. When Lonzo wasn't getting that many minutes, he averaged 11 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.5 assists on 35% shooting from 3 and a 38% field goal percentage. When Lonzo did get minutes, he averaged 15 points, 7.2 rebounds per game, and 8.3 assists per game on 41% from 3 on 7 attempts with a 45% field goal percentage. Honestly, that is remarkable change. Lonzo being an efficient shooter, that's something that the Laker fans never saw. He's figuring out how to be able to play it on his own, on the team, and that's something scary to see.
Yeah, boy.
Now, when Zion came back, that only helped Zion's game and Lonzo's game. Zion, when he first came back, all guns blazing. He barely got any minutes against the Spurs, but he was able to get 22 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists. Zion is that physical, athletic four that Gentry wants to be able to get buckets and get rebounds. What'll be interesting in the coming seasons is to see if Zion can hit that true elite ceiling that he easily can if he can improve his defending and if he can improve his playmaking ability. But that's a whole nother video for itself. The Pelicans roster can legit compete against the elite of the West. They have their go-to scorers in Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, and they can play well with each other, as shown through how Brandon Ingram still managed to average 22 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5 assists when Zion was able to finally play. Now, there is analysts, there is people, there is even haters saying that they wouldn't be able to play, the team wouldn't be able to gel, but they did the exact opposite in being able to play well with each other. And then you have Zoe being that unselfish point guard that will defend the best offensive player on the opposing team and just give them hell. And the roster in itself, besides those big three players, is perfect in how they have JJ Redick, the spot-up sniper, Josh Hart, the great 3-and-D guard, Nikola Melli, he's the perfect stretch 4 role player. Etwan Moore just gets buckets off the bench, and I haven't even mentioned Alexander Walker, who's that talented defensive guard. They have the talent and the depth, so if the Clippers or Lakers, for example, underestimate the Pelicans, this can easily be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep in 5 games for the Pelicans. My expectations, the Pelicans will win some games in the playoffs if they're able to get that 8th seed. But I don't know if they can be able to even get past the first round, because always when it's a young team, the young teams aren't able to get past the first round most of the time because they haven't been able to experience what playoff basketball is. But don't get it twisted, man. Like, the Pelicans, they gave the Lakers trouble. When AD had to go back to New Orleans, LeBron had to go try hard mode, like playoff Bron, to barely beat the Pelicans. And the Pelicans didn't have their full squad healthy at this time. I tell you this, any playoff team should be worried about the Pelicans. And for the Pelicans to be considered a lottery team around this time last season to this now, I believe most Pelican fans would be happy with this. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like. If you're new, join the crew. Peace.